This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. Yeah. This is where the water starts. Okay. Master Child probably dived into the water. I'll go take a look as well. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone, but there was also no obvious place for him to have disappeared to.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going. I probably passed out some time after that, and you know the rest.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she went out to save you.
Miss Clarande, you say? I must go thank her in person.
You're still too weak, Fremine. You can go after you've had some more rest.
Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come down here?
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me. Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me. I don't want to leave just yet.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in danger.
In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
Excuse me?
I take it Mr. Fremine's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting them.
I wanted to
Mostly fine.
if you don't mind.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know about Lenny's goals from the very beginning?
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went.
So you were hoping Lenny's...
You make it sound like the Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety.
Are the rumors true?
Now, why would you put it like that?
Oh, right.
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress as a champion duelist. Miss Clorand could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremine was part of that crisis?
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate Child's whereabouts. All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear now that you've spoken to Fremine.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case.
Yeah,
Even if the truth may not be pleasant, follow me.
There's a hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the Fortress of... Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, Paimon sure doesn't see anything special. What a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation... Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your...
Well... Huh. So there's a switch on this...
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligible. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I... Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the... Over the past few days, the needle has moved again.
The concentration of primordial seawater? But we're already under the...
And that is precisely the problem. Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could find and plug a leak. Oh. Oh!
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial... If this continues... Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of a night.
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea? Who built this place anyway?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast... It's just that the secret of the... There's no single found... When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals received no sympathy of any kind. Some of them began to repent, and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro... And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, as the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fort. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable living in the overworld. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered souls fade away with the ancient secrets of the past. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now they just see it as an integral pillar of Fontanian society, as the place where criminals deserve to be sent. Now and again, researchers manage.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as, to be frank, not really. Prophecies are troublesome things. Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told...
What? After you warned us not to...
I'm skeptical as well. Are you...
The results speak for themselves.
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. I trust that you've heard of Edwin? Good. Saves me. Edwin's main areas of research were Archeum and gravimeter.
You want to...
What a lovely idea.
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my tech...
Ooh, are they together?
See? Everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a...
Your Grace, I am not in a relationship with this man.
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez. Forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before. What's going on?
How much do you know about Fontanian history?
Not much.
Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, according to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibyl. He called his nation Lemuria.
There's a ship in this
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found
Do you believe that too?
to a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began...
Were you inspired by the legend?
Maybe. Were the workers to find as the fortress is... Alright, that's enough talk. Seems like you're... I'll leave you here for now.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you do.
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it.
Great.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup of tea?
How can you be so much like Risley, always drinking tea?
Huh. Actually, now that you mention while I was sedated,
Must have been.
yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it should have been the two of them. They really were just talking about brewing tea.
I really can't make sense of this place.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn?
Yeah, he explained.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answer? Yeah.
Nobody else is around.
All right. Then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself three. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by?
Woo!
That's our Linny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is basically the king of a no-man's land. As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, Risley will be free to move between the parties of interest. If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working.
You're super smart.
If Risley does have a plan, that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. I don't have an.
Let's see.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of.
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just wanted to negotiate.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. No matter what, we're on your side. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here right if you ever need, though you may not share this.
You have.
Thank you for
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll... Come on, let's go pick up ours as well. Traveler and Paimon, over here. Are you here for... Huh. What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like. Me too! Don't forget Paimon! No problem. So delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon feeling full yet? How's the food? Delicious. I'm so glad to see. Sigewin, do you do this to help your patient? A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take... You're really good at taking care of people. Really? You're reminded of an older sister? Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said, oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed... Although the path was blocked, we still stayed... Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny. You were all super considerate. It's just... Oh, I really wish Miss Sharon... Get a good night's rest, you two. I'm on super sleep. Delicious.
Out of my way! Get what happened! Why is everyone— No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terrible. Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why?
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come— Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey, hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to— Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she— will do.
Look! There are a ton of Fatui and Palais Mermoni. Are you two the Traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss Farina.
Of course! How could they not attend a—
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you. Come, sit beside me.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had the time. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly—
Since we're talking about him, I feel—
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Child was subdued by Udex Nuvillette right in front. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. Coming from you—
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found evidence that proved he left the Fortress of Meripede.
And where did he go after leaving the fortress?
Well...
The Fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath— Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter—
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the content—
Hold on. The water in the teacup—
I suppose this is also a sign—
Huh? I don't quite—
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the...
Let me guess. We're safe for...
Indeed.
I win this bet.
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you would...
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake.
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now? That's just how the courts...
So what gift must the
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to...
Well, I'm sure his grip...
I was under the impression...
That was obvious. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished...
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the...
I must say, Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed.
What are you trying to...
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic Yet, here you are, relaxed. The prophecy's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking... But you? It beggars belief just how...
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy.
I am not alone in my doubts. Oh, great Hydro Archon.
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look, Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on?
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time. It is just that beings like yourselves are unable to perceive them as of yet.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor, allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to
An emergency...
Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response plan is also strictly confidential.
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose of your Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal? And what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium?
The Oratrice? It's just like it...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be... Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the table?
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem... Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard. You too,
Thank you. Oh, Paimon's super...
on my...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly on. It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll...
Mind seeing me off, traveler? We...
Paimon's coming too!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course,
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the children of the house. That was all. Formal. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede.
They've all been working very hard and have always done...
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just... You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of Meripede.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble he has caused? Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone shortly.
Do you require help with any preparations?
No need. I will take care of it myself. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's fascinating about her is that she often seems more like a celebrity than a working Archon.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this instant!
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, the bait is meant to be sacrificed. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the Archon. In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, targeting her has lost all meaning. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dares not mention this incident to anyone. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she even bring herself to eat her cake. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette is actually the genuine article. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might have been hidden in a place that's hard for ordinary people to access.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please speak.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet as well.
Probably the handiwork of that Ridesley.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydro Archon and Udex Neuvillette. Oh, and I have an additional mission for you three.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audience and continue my investigation of Farina and Udex Neuvillette. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Linny and his group will be responsible for the actual intelligence gathering. You should know the rest. Linny's group is quite close to you.
You attacked—
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Udex Neuvillette, of course, that is all just how I feel. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? Ultimately, though, one must serve. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want to catch up with each other, so I'll leave you to him.
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to... So as expected, the knave has turned up the permission granted.
Whoa. It can't... You can't tell us?
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are, I believe so. The fortress has a long and now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us. I mourn this turn of events.
Huh? Why is it raining?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so... Farina? Ah, my apology.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the dragon sovereign of water, right?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope...
Right, of course. Well, there's still some...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you are... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included, possess... They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today, That stolen power is the base.
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, in any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the prophecy.
Oh, so even you can't solve it.
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding ancient history, you are welcome to discuss.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't we pay another visit to the Fortress of Meripede? Paimon is... We'll see you another time.
Take care.